group of 11 students embarked on a journey to Ghana. In the capital city of Accra, professional dancers showed us the rhythm and moves that flow through the culture.
It was breathtaking to actually be in Africa. All these years growing up, I always dreamed of being there and actually land and see the people in their traditional clothing and just how friendly everyone was. It was nothing like I was expecting. It was beautiful.
Akwaaba is to welcome you. Everywhere you go, you hear people say Akwaaba.
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 So what's up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on my channel. If you're new here, Lillian here, and I welcome you to my channel, and I hope you join the family by hitting on the subscribe button. And if you're my returning viewer, I appreciate you. Thank you for always coming back. Please do it to like the video. The video I want to show you guys today is not a new video, but it still falls under that of Africa undiluted. I mean, people are still coming into the country, so it has been a routine all the while. I just didn't know. Yeah, people have been coming. It's not even now. I think they have been coming since forever. It's just that with social media we get to see. So there's a new group, or there was a group in town, or groups in town. Okay, fine, let me be nice. A group that came all the way from the United States of America, and I'm going to let those videos roll. I'll come back to talk about it. See ya.
To Westerners, it's known as the Dark Continent because so little is known about it. So when a group of students from the University of Oklahoma headed to Ghana, few of us knew what to expect. The first of the sub-Saharan African colonies to gain independence in 1957, Ghana became a shining example of Africa for Africans. Like their neighbors, a majority of the population still struggles with poverty. But the vibrancy and peace found here is uniquely Ghana. Named the Gold Coast by British colonizers because of their abundance of gold and cocoa, Ghana was the last place seen by millions of slaves funneled into the slave trade. Ghanaian culture is full of song and dance, infused with tribal customs and elements of globalization. Now tourist attractions, you can visit forts and castles along the coast, once part of the slave trade. We'll visit a few of these and more on our trip through Ghana.
It was breathtaking to actually be in Africa. All these years growing up, I always dreamed of being there and actually land and see the people in their traditional clothing and just how friendly everyone was. It was nothing like I was expecting. It was beautiful.
When I first landed in Ghana, of course we were really exhausted from the long plane ride. Finally we found Pro Coco, and he led us to our small little taxi and rode back to the guest house.
So here we are in our classroom in the Osu area, right here at the KNUST guest house.
I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to Ghana. Ghana is a very peace-loving country, and our currency is the cedi. Ghana has been divided into segments, and we call them regions. And each region has a central government, but they all still have the national capital, which is Accra, where we are now.
So class, I just wanted to formally introduce Kokroko, and I know we picked most of you up at the airport, but he's our right-hand man on this trip this week. He's also our Twi teacher.
Akwaaba is to welcome you. Everywhere you go, you hear people say Akwaaba.
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 Akwaaba. Their culture is definitely big on rhythm and dance and expressing yourselves through movement and singing.
It really gave you an authentic African experience, just learning their dance and learning their music. It was a lot of fun, and at first I was a little shy about it, but a couple minutes in I was a natural, or I thought I was.
It was a lot of fun. It was really hot. I thought I was going to die of heat stroke and just sweaty, but it was fun.
I danced. I
I danced my butt off. and actually that was one of the things that I wanted to explore the most, was the music and how it was infused within their culture. They had the drums, they had the simple maracas, everything was still just had that African groove to it, and it was extraordinary. Music is everywhere. I mean, luckily I was able to go to some churches and a funeral, and even there they were just bumping some music with some bass. It was a much different sight to see at a funeral. It wasn't nothing what you would expect.
Next, we head about 90 miles down the coast from Accra to Cape Coast. Founded by the Portuguese in the 15th century, Cape Coast changed hands between many colonizers. Now Cape Coast is a fishing town erected around a former slave trade castle built by the Dutch in 1650.
I was very overwhelmed with emotion, I guess, when I went to Cape Coast. It was something I knew we were going to, and I knew we were going to see, but I didn't expect it to have that big of an impact on me.
It's hard to even put that into words, just knowing that the countless amount of slaves that walked through there, knowing that they would never be back in their homeland. It was very sad.
There was tons of things you never really thought about or knew that existed until you actually went to the slave castle and got to see how big of a deal it was to go from the governor's mansion at the very top of the hierarchy, you know, down to just where slaves were just constantly being flushed through.
It was almost a humbling experience, knowing the history of that and how the United States impacted this horrible history.
But we also saw the perseverance of the Ghanaian people and their ability to grow around this painful reminder. On our way out of Cape Coast, we made a brief stop at Kakum National Park, where you can visit the rainforest from above on a 7-platform canopy walk, one of only 4 in the world.
During the actual hike through the Kakum rainforest, I was literally plotting in my mind, like, how am I going to make it back to the bus or the trotro without anyone noticing? I was terrified.
Being in Africa and knowing that I was about to walk across this tiniest bridge on earth that was so skinny and just like wooden planks, that was insanely crazy and scary.
I loved the canopy walk. I wanted to go through it all again and just run it, like with no one in front of me. It was a lot of fun. I'm not afraid of heights or anything, so I really liked being there and being in the jungle. I wish we had more time to explore.
It's unbelievable how high you were, and it didn't feel like you were that high, but when you would look down and you would see you were way above the tips of trees, you realize, okay, I'm a few hundred feet up in the air. It didn't feel like it though. It felt like if you fell, you would just glide onto some pillows. No.
We made it! Next, we travel to the heart of the Ashanti region, Kumasi. Kumasi has the second largest population outside of Accra. The majority of the population is self-employed farmers or those who own their own shops. Many of the country's natural resources are bought, sold, and exploited in this region of Ghana.
Honestly, that probably was my most favorite thing in Africa, was visiting the children at the school. I mean, once we walked in to the school, the children just got all ecstatic. They were all just along the balconies, just looking at us, smiling, waving, laughing. They were really excited to listen to us speak.
Just talking to them about how sanitation works in the United States was really interesting too, because they were so excited to see a future like that for Ghana. They were very optimistic and very focused on wanting to fix the situation. They knew what was wrong and they knew what needed to be done, and it's really inspiring to see that generation, and it'll be interesting over the next few years to see them evolve and to see if they've actually accomplished what they set out to do.
As our journey comes to an end, we have one more stop, near Ghana's eastern border with Togo. After a 45-minute hike through the Agumasta Wildlife Sanctuary, we emerged to find the Wali Waterfalls, the highest falls in Ghana.
It was beautiful, just hiking through the rainforest and seeing all the wildlife and hearing the wildlife, and then seeing that beautiful waterfall just spilling over that wall.
It's cold. You can feel the wind from the power of the water just brushing through. I mean, it was immense, and there was just a constant mist and just beautiful green surrounding it, an oasis, you know, bats on the walls all along. I mean, it was extraordinary. That's probably one of my favorite places that we went.
It hurt a little when we were underneath it, but I mean, it was really a neat experience.
Ghana challenged what each of us knew or thought we knew about Africa. A few Google searches could have never prepared us for what we encountered.
I would recommend anyone to go to Ghana because it opens your eyes to a different world that we're not used to. That was the biggest thing.
What you find there, you don't learn about the culture and their history. You learn about yourself as well, and you learn about, I guess, how to handle yourself better in any kind of situation. Like for me, it helps me to become more patient and to become less occupied with time and more focused on finding enjoyment in the smaller things.
The people there are the most friendly people you'll ever meet on earth. I don't think there was one encounter where we had a conflict or an issue or a rude person speak to us.
Even if that's not your prerogative for going, you should at least go just to see and meet the people. I mean, the people are absolutely incredible. They're nice, they're nice and they're friendly, and they're always willing to help you despite what they've been through.
You also realize how fortunate, you know, living in the U.S. and being born in the U.S. you are.
If nothing more, for an educational experience, to go over there and experience what it's like to live in Ghana. It's not everything that you see on TV.
Will stay with you and change you.
Long after we've returned to the U.S., we will remember the people and culture, the struggles and triumphs of this vibrant country. And one day, if we return, we can be sure we will hear the familiar Akwaaba welcoming us back, because we have gone all the way out and we have returned.
Okay, like I told you earlier, it's not a new video, so it's a video that have been around for quite a while, just that I'm seeing it now. And I love to display videos like this because they kind of remind everybody of what I've been talking about. People coming to patronize Africa in Ghana, like coming to have a feel and taste of Africa in Ghana. When students want to go to West Africa, Ghana is the go-to. So I just want people to see it. I will not just sit down and wake up and say anything to make anybody happy. There's a video I posted recently. In that video, I addressed the former president of Ghana as my man. Some people unsubscribed. The ones that came privately to warn me, the ones that advised me. In fact, it has been like that. So I shouldn't have no right to have said, my man, okay, your man. So I'm not big on pleasing people. I'm more into bringing things to life as they are, except it's a topic that is too sensitive and I'm not sure I have enough information to back up my claims, or I want to get myself into it. You see me withdraw. But it's not because I just want to please you, then I'll come here. Oh, people are coming to Ghana. No. It is because if I ever say that, it's because it's what it is. Okay. So I'm done with today's video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.